Hello, everybody. My name is Bob Friedenthal. I call myself a LinkedIn junkie, but I love doing interviews. So I'm lucky enough. I've known Coach Bobby Hosea for many, many years now. And Coach Bobby, you want to give us your contact information, all that good stuff?
Yes, Bob, my name is Bobby Hosea. You can reach me by phone at 310-351-0891. My website is thehoseamethod.com. That's HOSEA method.com. My email address is prppro at msn.com. Um, I got the title from the IRS in 2021 as the eminence of the health and wellness coaching industry because in 97, while coaching my 12-year-old son and all of his little Pop Warner teammates, I was scared to death that one of them might not be able to get up. Back in those days, we weren't worried about concussions. We were worried about being paralyzed. So that's why I didn't want to see that. So I taught them how to tackle how I taught myself. And all these years later, it is now the only evidence-based concussion preventive tackling technique in the world. And how that happened was just by LA84 Foundation, the largest funder in California of youth sports, hired a scientific team to test my system, and it came out with no helmet contact whatsoever, and eliminated all the behavior, language, techniques, and terms that lead to helmet involvement in a tackle. So that's who I am. That's what I do.
I love it. I love it. So, who do you like to meet by vocation?
Well, parents to me and players themselves and coaches, those three are the ones that can change the game. The industry is not going to basically change on its own. It's not going to change. It's going to keep doing what it's been doing. A lot of that has to do with liability and admitting guilt or whatever. I don't care about that. I only care about the solution. So the solution is those that are being affected by the concussion problem need to really know what causes them and how to prevent them. And that's who I focus on the most.
I know we're on camera. I don't know if you could kind of physically show what you do or tell it how.
Yeah, I can tell you. I don't have a lot of room in here, but what controls your direction of your head are your hips. And what controls the direction of your hips are your arms. Now, when your arms, your knuckles and elbows are on the same level and you go to, the word is wrap them up. That's a terminology you don't want to use because it creates a physical mechanism of the body whereby which the hips go back and the head goes down. When you go to wrap your arms around a person, it's a physical mechanism that every football player needs to know and coach needs to know that causes your waist, your hips, and your head to be on the same level. When you go to wrap them up, I call it hug your mama tackle. And your hips go back, your head goes down. But when you throw double uppercuts, knuckles up, elbows down, your hips go up and your head goes up and away. It's just physics. And you hit with both shoulders. That is the physical mechanism that keeps your head out of the collision. What is football has been done in football since its inception in the 1800s is the single shoulder tackle. That's where you go to put your shoulder on a ball carrier's hip to go like, well, they say your head is not down, but your head is down, but it's getting in direct line of fire of your teammates trying to assist on the tackle, on the ball carrier's teammates trying to block. And the ball carrier themselves can hit you in your temple. You get hit in the top of your head by your teammates because we come from all over the place. But football won't change. And I don't know why that is, but I'm not concerned about them changing. I'm only concerned about those that are getting hurt, and that is the children, their parents, and the coaches. No coach wants to hurt a kid. So once they learn this, they will adjust.
That's a real key factor. Is there any way, I don't know if this is feasible or not, is there any way you could show us by turning to the side and showing a little bit about how
Okay,
that
hold on. Let me
happens?
move this chair. Let me move this chair. So, okay, so one thing you want to do is keep your waist at a 45-degree angle, like this. You see that? And you see my waist at a 45-degree angle,
Yep.
right? Here. So basically, my chin is over my toes. It keeps my head in neutral position the whole time. My chin never drops. My eyes are never down. I step into an imaginary hole. So that means I'm going to bend deep in the knees. See how I go out of frame almost? Here. We call it eyes belt buckle high. I'm going to get that high off the ground here. I'm going to throw my double uppercuts. And so since I teach little boys, all boys, every age, but I started out with the little ones. I said, take your booger fingers and grab imaginary hand grenade pins and throw double uppercuts. And see how I came up? And I also say, tell them what you want. I want to see your snot. Well, where does snot come from? Your nose. If I'm looking up, where's my head? My head is up. You're never going to see anybody's snot. You're just not going to get hit in your head, and you're not going to expose it. You're not going to hit them with your head. But little boys, and rather than be afraid, because that's what they're teaching you, put your head to the side so you don't get hurt. I'm not going to get hurt. I want to make the tackle. So that's our focus.
I love it. I love it. You know, in all the interviews I've done over the years, yours is the most descriptive, and you're not only just you're showing people how to do it, but of course, people should contact you to get more understanding. And look, we know the amount of injuries that go on in football and soccer today. And what do you call it? The fear factor?
Yeah, the fear factor. What I ask the question of every parent when they come to my camp, what scares you to death about tackle football? And everybody, if I ask you that question, you're going to minimize what you are going to say. You're not going to say, well, my kid getting killed, or my kid breaking his neck, or my kid being paralyzed. You always say, well, if he breaks a bone, if he gets hurt, Like, so a finger's made of a bone. Are you going to drop dead if he breaks his finger because he gets caught in another kid's face mask? No. Then what really scares you? Then they get real. My kid not being able to walk. My kid fracturing his neck. Then the next question is, okay, well, how does that happen? Well, he puts his head down. Next question, well, what causes that? Bad technique. What's that? I don't know. Okay, well, how do you prevent it? Good technique. What's that? I don't know. Okay, so what you're really afraid of is the unknown. So that's what the fear factor is. I let you know what the unknown is. So the first thing we do is we figure out what does cause your head to go down. I just showed you. I just told you. There's terminology, wrap them up. You go to a football game, the very first missed tackle you see, everybody on the sideline is screaming, people in the stands are screaming, wrap them up. Well, that means hug your mama tackle. That is a physical mechanism that causes your hips to go back and your head to go down. So you want to throw double uppercuts and lock on. So you eliminate that language and replace it with new language.
I
Lock
love
on.
I love
Lock on. And grab the top of the numbers on the back of his jersey. Try to get your hips to the top of the numbers on the front of his jersey. They're never going to get there because he's got a football in his arm. They're probably going to get stopped here by his elbows. And your hips are never going to get that high, but it's the emphasis of the rip that accelerates the hips and causes the head to come up and away, and boom, you're hit with both shoulders and not one.
I
Not
love
doing
it.
that.
I love this. This is probably one of the most interesting interviews I can remember having done. Um, you know your stuff. It's quite apparent. How many years you been teaching?
28,
48. Oh, just getting
28,
started.
28, 28,
Oh,
28.
28. Okay.
Yes. I'm only 69.
Well, but this is so important because how many kids are in youth sports that what what you're teaching can affect the
all
outcome?
of all of them.
Yeah,
They're all in the same, it's everybody. It's nobody, I say this, every football player has to know how to tackle. especially the guys on offense, because there's instant offense and instant defense with an interception or a fumble. So if you're an offensive lineman and your quarterback throws an interception, you got to go make that tackle. You just can't run off the field, and you got to make it in a way that what you've learned won't rub off. Just because you play on the opposite side of the ball, you need to know how to tackle as well for your own well-being and to stay healthy and stay on the field.
But
So everybody, quarterbacks, everybody has to know how to tackle. It's the number one thing.
this goes beyond football. What are other youth sports do should parents know about and your coaching method?
Well, I don't focus on any other sport. I only focus on tackle football
But
because each year,
you also have impact on soccer, I suspect.
well, soccer, their problem is heading the ball, and that's it. And if they stop heading the ball, matter of fact, women's soccer has the most concussions of any sport, period.
Okay, let
Women's
me
soccer.
tell you something. So understanding it, rugby.
Rugby is a different sport that they try to use their technique, but rugby has a rule that we don't have. It's called the gate rule, which means a ball carrier, rugby running the ball, you can't tackle him from the back. You can only tackle him from the front. And so if I'm going to assist on a tackle with my teammate, I have to go around and come in the front. There's no coming. So they put their head to the side. That's not safe because we're 22 people on the field. And 22 people are flying from the left, flying from the right, coming
There you
from the
go.
back, coming from the front. And you put your head down there and everybody's doing the exact same thing. It's going to be what they call friendly fire. But that injury is not friendly. Okay, you're in a wheelchair for the rest of your life, or you're gone, or you're brain damaged, and you're not the same person you were when you started the contest. So these things have to be known by everybody who participates in the sport, especially the players.
Impact sports. That's the key. That's where you make a difference. It's impact and how, you know, um, you prevent injuries. End of story. All right. So, you gave us your information. I'm just going to share with the group. My name is Bob Friedenthal. On LinkedIn, I'm found under Karen, Caryn, Bob, and the last name spelled Friedenthal. I call myself a LinkedIn junkie. I've been doing it so many years, you can't even imagine. And well, well over 30, 35 years. I think I certainly got involved much more with LinkedIn when Microsoft bought them for $26 billion. And now there's a billion members. When I started with LinkedIn, there was something like 130 million members on LinkedIn. Now there's a billion members on LinkedIn. So it's not the only social media stuff, and I enjoy what I do. I have a staff that work for me and take care of clients and all that good stuff. So if you want to get in touch with me, my phone number is area code 310-736-5787. And you can reach me at bob@mycity.com or mycityalerts@gmail.com. And thank you so much for watching this interview of Coach Bobby. And I know one thing, if it doesn't impact you, other people that have kids, you could have a huge impact on them. So I think it's really important that this video gets out to a lot of other people as well. So, Coach Bobby, thank you so much.
My
And
pleasure.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this interview. Take care.
Take care, Bob.
You too.